Busch with his second career NASCAR Busch Series pole will lead him off with the championship leader Martin Truex Jr. alongside on the front row.
And Kyle Busch, 2 wins in the 3rd place the last 3 races outside row 2.
There's Kenny Wallace back in row 3. David Green will have to leave his starting spot in row 4 and go to the end of the field. His team had to change an engine during the weekend. That's a violation of NASCAR's 1 engine per weekend rule. He'll start from the back.
And Ron Hornaday Jr. inside row 7 comes back to his home state of California to compete, and Greg Biffle, who won the race here in May.
Mike McLaughlin driving the Team Marines car for a second week, replacing Bobby Hamilton Jr. in that machine. There's Jamie McMurray. I know somebody that owns that car. He's sitting between BP and I today. We'll keep an eye on that one too today. Bobby Labonte, a rare Busch Series start. Driving a Joe Gibbs Racing, number 18. And Sterling Marlin back in the NASCAR Busch Series for the first time in 4 years. Doubling his fun this weekend here in California.
And back on the inside of row 15, we see Wally Dolan back there, partner in the booth in the race car today. And, you know, Wally and I, we have this little wager, friendly wager. If he runs in the top 5, the 5 races he's going to do, I've got to wash his car in Daytona next year. If he doesn't, he's got to wash my car next year in Daytona. Last year he washed my car. I don't know exactly what happened, but that was a ragged start.
Yeah, they're all broke apart pretty good there. I think it's a lot of that. Nobody wants to go in that corner side by side, Benny.
Casey Mears leads. Martin Truex is second. There's the first side-by-side racing. David Stremme in 32 and Michael Waltrip in the 99.
Mike Bliss in the 20 car behind Stremme.
It's going to be for about 7th place. And up ahead, a race for second. Casey Kane, 38, inside of Martin Truex. Well, let's check with Marty on pit road.
Well, one of the reasons the start might have been so ragged, a couple of guys who started up front felt like Casey Mears maybe jumped a little quicker than they thought he would jump, and they didn't get the jump they wanted to, so that's why some guys were lagging behind. Some were able to keep up with Casey.
All right, here we go. 3 wide. Kyle Busch in 5, Truex in 8, and Casey Kane in 38. They sensibly get down to 2 abreast in turn 3.
Yeah, that was a good move. I would definitely got side by side, 2 abreast getting into turn 3 at least.
Kyle Busch, second place in the NASCAR Busch Series Championship. Had a kind of a struggling summer a little bit. Had a series of several races where he had poor finishes, but then the last few weeks he's been on fire. Really doing well.
At Michigan, a racetrack very similar to this just 2 weeks ago, the 5 car in this race in the Busch Series was unbeatable, untouchable.
First, and third, his last 3 finishes for Kyle Busch in that 5 car.
These guys have definitely got their spring package figured out, this 5 car. He seems like Benny's running real stiff springs in the back. They get that thing hooked up, getting in the corner. It looks completely different in most cars when you watch it out there.
Truex Jr. passing Kyle Busch back. Those are your top 2 rivals for the championship in the 8 and 5 machines.
Oh, Casey Kane, 38, and Busch almost getting together. It's like Joe Nemechek, the 87 car, is trying to go someplace. The red and white on the outside. By the way, the Truex car looks pretty good, Matt.
BP, he looks really good, but he came on the radio as he came down the front stretch. He said, Bono, we are really loose. He said, I know, hang on to it. It'll come to us as this run progresses.
So Truex there settling in line in second position, and Kyle Busch going to try him again.
You know, I've had it before where those crew chiefs tell you that, and it never does happen.
Yeah, you just wait for it.
Yeah, they make you feel comfortable, though, when they tell you that. It's going to get better.
Yeah.
Trust me, they say. It'll get better.
Yeah, trust me.
Joe Nemechek, 87, inside of Casey Kane in 38. And joining that group, the winner here back in May, Greg Biffle. That's Biffle on the bottom in the purple and gold 60. Where did he start? He started 14th, so Biffle's already up to 7th and challenging for 6th and more.
It's a terrific battle going on for the second spot. The honestly, that seems to be the characteristic of these cars anymore. You got to start the run with a little bit loose because they will start tightening up as the race progresses.
You're right, Benny. Once the air pressure comes up in the tires and the fuel starts burning off, all that nose weight shifts forward, that car gets tight, and it'll definitely change. This track has kind of got the characteristic look to me that guys are going to start running high down in 3 and 4. A lot of grip down there.
Casey Kane running pretty high, 1 and 2. That's the 38 car. Moving up into uncharted territory so far this race.
Casey Kane on the top of the racetrack. Now that's a real shot. This kid loves the outside groove in his 38 car.
Well, you know, down to turn 1 at this racetrack, it's about 2 or 3 degrees flat on that bottom lane. So a lot of guys try to run the center part of the racetrack because it's more banked, a little bit more grip there.
Let's talk more about Casey Kane. He's running 4th now, Marty.
That's a big shock for you, BP, that he's up on that top line, isn't it? The Casey Kane car. He tried it in happy hour. He tried it here in June, or in May, rather. He said it really worked. He said, I might try it early. I talked to him right before he got in the car. He said, I might try that line early just to see if it works in my Busch car. I didn't work it as much as I wanted to yesterday, but I'll try it early in this race. And already, he's up there at lap 6.
I'll tell you, the guy to keep an eye on right now is Greg Biffle. He just moved around both the 87 and 32, Nemechek and Stremme, and Biffle's up to 5th, Matt.
Same race car he ran at Michigan, finishing 8th, and the same race car he drove to victory lane here back in May. It's his favorite car. He says right now, though, it's a little bit on the free side. The car was tight in practice, made a lot of adjustments for today's race, diving on the inside of the 38, trying to gain another position.
And Casey Kane running the very top of the racetrack, and we see Biffle in the 60 right down on the white line near the bottom.
Well, that's definitely the lane you want to be in if you can get your car to handle down there. It's the shortest way around, Ben.
So Biffle to 3rd, and now working on Truex for 2nd. Kyle Busch there, side by side with Kane. How about the 5 car, Dave?
Hasn't said anything about his car yet today, Alan, but you mentioned how well he's done in the last 3 races. After the Pikes Peak race, where he finished 17th, he was 142 points behind leader Truex. But he gained 64 points in the next 3 races. And as you mentioned, 2 wins and a 3rd. These guys have really made it up in the last few weeks.
David Green was the lucky dog at the last caution. He is last now on the lead lap in 23rd place. And we go back to full speed. 20 car Mike Bliss, first one a lap down in 24th place, trying to get a lap back from leader Greg Biffle.
And Casey Mears going to the lead and has it off turn 2.
Yes, sir.
Biffle in the 60 car is just not getting going on the restarts. Same thing happened the last time.
Second gear in the transmission could be wrong. You know, his buildup on the tires aren't right. There's many reasons for that.
So new leader is Casey Mears in the 41. Casey's contract recently extended by Chip Ganassi for his services beyond 2004.
And more today. Looks like he thinks he has a flat tire.
He's wiggling back and forth, wasn't he?
Yes.
Not good under the green.
Still doing it.
The front tire, whatever's going on here.
All right, so that's the word from Hornaday's onboard radio. And the 7th place driver in the championship's got some troubles. Joe Nemechek up to 3rd place while Hornaday's on pit road, Matt.
Look for them to work in the left front suspension as they're going to work there. A possible spacer fell out as he left pit road on the last stop. I saw a NASCAR official walking back up pit road. Nobody knew whose car it came off of. As soon as we went back to green, Ron said there's something amiss. And Busch said, I think I know what it is. Tough break for the Blue Deuce. A very solid day going.
And while we watch Biffle try and challenge the lead, Matt, is that a wheel spacer you're talking about?
He's probably talking about a spacer.
Spacer in the left front A-frame area.
The camber spacer.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yep. They run real thick aluminum blocks, and those things come loose every now and then. A lot of guys will take those things and they'll put straps around them to hold them in. But I've seen that's happened to our own Grand National team out there.
where the upper control arm bolts to the frame, you can put a spacer in there to control the camber, how the top of the tire leans in or leans out. And if that isn't tight, that spacer can come out.
And Benny, a lot of these guys are trying to run the half-inch bolts in the top instead of the traditional 9/16. And those half-inch bolts just don't torque up as tight. They come out, they've come loose. A lot of teams have had problems with that.
Mears able to hold off Biffle for the lead for now. Why would they try that? Why would they try the smaller bolt?
They're all going for weight. They try to get the car as light as they possibly can. The thought process going into building a car is think every bolt you put on the car, think about weight. Let's bid them today.
Yep. We talked about that spacer. I think we can go inside our NBC garage and show the folks what we're talking about. We talk about negative camber. And you see when you lean the tire in or tire out, the spacer that goes in there, you see that just dropped in there, that's what fell out on the 2 car, we assume.
I would assume that also.
And what that does for the race car when it's on the racetrack.
See down the straightaway, the thing rides on the inside of the tire. But when you get to the corner, the full contact of the tire the full tire patch makes contact with the racetrack.
Better grip, better speed through the corner.
Guys want to run longer A-frames now to calm down the suspension because they're running such soft springs in their front, so they put these big spacers to accommodate the longer A-frames. These cars are really designed to have much shorter A-frames where the mounts go, but I'd say a lot of them will start moving those pivot points around, so they won't have to run so much spacer nowadays.
I think he might have it finished this time.
Yeah, it looks like Biffle has the lead in the 60 car.
So back out front is Biffle, and now the race for third. It's Joe Nemechek trying to get around Casey Kane.
Well, last time by, went by the start-finish line, Nemechek had it. Casey Kane has taken it away.
And up front, here comes Mears back on Biffle.
This is pretty good stuff here.
Excuse me, I wasn't ready to give up the top spot yet. It was rude of you to take it from me.
We'll see if he gets loose now, because generally, we'll see how he just lost the tail a little bit then. He gets behind the guy, he gets not so much downforce in the front, and it tightens that car back up for Mears, and he can pass again. But when he gets back up in front, he gets loose again, so here they go again.
All right, Biffle passes on the back stretch, Mears passes on the front stretch.
Taking their turns.
Yeah.
Ford versus Dodge here. Biffle in the Roush Ford, and Mears in a Ganassi Dodge. And give this one to Biffle this time.
Yeah, he even has the lead down the front stretch this time.
It's a funny kind of pattern we've seen on Biffle's car. The line won't get going on the restarts, and then after a few laps, it comes right back to him. And that's not like he had made a tire change and the air pressures were down or something. It just didn't go for a couple laps. But Greg Biffle out in front. Remember that Biffle has tried to run both the NASCAR Busch Series and NASCAR Nextel Cup Series full schedules this year. The hard part of that challenge is over for him for this year. He spent a lot of June and July flying around in a jet between different racetracks in different cities. Most of the races from here through the end of the season are on the same weekend at the same racetrack now. So life gets a lot easier for Greg Biffle in that double duty thing.
He only has one tough one. I guess that's Memphis in October.
Yeah, that's a pretty close hop.
Well, Memphis to Martinsville, but at least he's on the same race. I guess to go down to the lead mark. We'll go to Memphis. Oh, here we go.
Here's a bunch.
3 wide.
Truex in the 8. 27, Johnny Sauter. McLaughlin in the 25. And who's that? Fedewa?
Looks like Fedewa in the 12 car.
Yeah.
During the pre-race ceremonies, I saw Terry Bradshaw down on pit road watching his cars run today. Part owner of the 12 car and the 14 of Casey Atwood.
Fedewa not on the lead lap, so he's not in this race for position in that 12 car. He is in 26th place.
Bobby Labonte's looked solid all day long in the 18 car. He hasn't run Grand National in a long time. Tried to make it at Michigan and had the rain delay, a rain out, and missed the race there.
You remember why Bobby hasn't run these races in a while. He had that crash at Darlington a few years ago in a Busch car where he broke a shoulder blade, and it hindered, he felt. Well, let's check out the lead again.
And it's Mears back in front, and they have caught Mike Bliss in the 20 car and put him back a lap down. He now is the first car 1 lap down.
'94 of 150 laps complete here at the California Speedway. Casey Mears, the Bakersfield native, is the race leader. We have had so far today 4 different leaders change the lead 8 times around, and let's start our through the field with the man in the #1 spot. Dave has the update for us.
And he's changed the lead with the 60 car about 10 times over the last couple of laps here. Having fun with that. One time he actually gave up the lead because the 20 car in front of him got loose. He had to back off a little bit. But the car working very well for Casey. They didn't want to pit that time because they weren't in their fuel window yet. Matt?
The 60 stayed out under that last caution. He says the car is awesome, especially off turn 4. They're still looking around the lap 116 to 120 area for their next stop, Marty.
Matt Casey Kane has finished 4th and 5th in his last 2 Busch Series races here in California Speedway. Working on another top 5 today. Loose in, tied off. Going to go up on the track bar next time, Dave.
We may have to call Joe Nemechek Joe Armstrong. He's been racing that car without power steering, or at least it's intermittent. He's been sort of cryptic on the radio about it, but it still runs fast, and he's still running in this top 5. Marty?
Best finish Jamie McMurray has ever had in the 66 car is 22nd. Much better today. The car very good. He said all of a sudden, though, it's gotten tight. Hasn't been that all day, Dave.
We talked to the crew chief of the 5, Lance McGrew, and asked him on the last caution period why he pitted the time before, because we weren't good enough to win. I just checked with him again. Are you good enough now? He said, oh, yeah. Marty?
Dave, Kevin Harvick is in 7th place right now. The car is very good. Came on the radio about 20 laps ago and said, I'm having fun. That's a good sign. Dave?
Bobby Labonte pitted on lap 76, made a wedge adjustment for a loose race car. That seems to have helped the 18 car of Labonte. Matt?
And a championship point leader, Martin Truex Jr. The last 3 races, he has given away on average 21 points per race to the 5 car of Kyle Busch. He says the car a little bit free by myself, tight in traffic. They are continuing to make gains on this 8 car, Dave.
27 car of Johnny Sauter, who took 2 tires on the last stop. Been leveling off a little bit. He's been tight all day, but they think we've gotten about halfway to what Johnny needs to really race this car. Alan, back upstairs.
There are your top 10 of 22 that are on the lead lap. Right now, the race being dominated by those 2 drivers, Casey Mears and Greg Biffle, who have left the 3rd place driver, Casey Kane, by nearly 4 seconds. Well, not that long ago, I was wondering what was wrong with Jason Leffler, but Dave, a nice recovery so far.
Let's talk about what's right with Jason Leffler. They stopped last time, made a track bar adjustment to fix a loose race car. They've been working on that all day, and they think they've gotten him about where he needs to be. Marty?
Tony Raines trying to track down Jason Leffler using that low line. Looks like he might pass him there, Dave. His car is a little too tight. He hasn't said much on the radio on this run. Fairly happy. Kevin Harvick, Matt Kenseth, he is not very happy with his race car, however. And we have a battle for the lead again. This doesn't end, does it, Alan?
Well, that's good stuff. Biffle on the move again, trying to get the lead away from Casey Mears.
He's going to go in turn 3 on the bottom of the racetrack, but Casey's going to move up high. Well, this time he didn't. He decided to go back on the bottom and see, okay, is there speed on the bottom? Do I need to go follow Biffle down there and see if I can run better?
So new leader Greg Biffle, and we continue through the field. 14th place, Mike McLaughlin, I think is where we left off, Matt.
The Team Renzi section of our through the field, 14th and 15th again, Mike McLaughlin. He earlier said that the car was tight. They've worked on it and worked on it. They have gotten that car back to free. Meanwhile, Wally finally has radio communication, his car on the tight side. Marty?
What a rebound for David Green. Remember, he started last today because of an engine change this morning. Got the lucky dog last time, currently in the 15th position. Car just a little too tight for David, but he says he's pretty happy, Matt.
And Wally just passed by David Green, now drops back to 16. We told you that earlier, Benny, he didn't have radio communication. They finally have fixed that, gone to the backup channel 2. He is telling his team and Mr. Clean the car is tight, but not bad at all. Still trying to work on that top 5. Dave?
David Stremmy's biggest problem, Matt, right now is that earlier when the car overheated, they think they might have hurt the motor a little bit. In David's words, it's laying down a little bit. Handles okay, just not as fast as it needs to be. Matt, back.
And Kenny Wallace says the car was good before his last stop. He was trying different lines around this racetrack to try to help the race car. Still tight. They made changes in the last stop, Dave, that made the car even tighter.
Mike Wallace last pitted on lap 61. He stayed out on lap 76. They've been fighting a tight race car all day long.
Seems like Michael Waltrip, who once in the 20th position in the 99 car, his day took a turn for the worse when they dropped the green flag. They've made numerous changes all day long. The car just has not come to life. Marty?
Matty Stacy Compton in 21st, trying to build some consistency into his season. 3 top 11s in his last 5 races. The quote on the radio, this set of tires is junk. Just doesn't match up with their chassis. His car too loose, Dave.
Ashton Lewis was happy with his tires, just not with his chassis. They had to make a wedge adjustment on that car to try to bring it around a little bit. It was very loose for Ashton before his last pit stop. Alan?
All right, there you go. All 22 lead lap cars in through the field. And they're all chasing right now Greg Biffle, who has finally put a little bit of distance on Casey Mears.
And that little bit is about 3/4 of a second.
Biffle and Mears about neck and neck as far as who's led the most laps today. To this point, Mears 43, Biffle 42. Had a little contact on the racetrack a second ago. Michael Waltrip involved. Let's go to the videotape.
There's 59, Stacy Compton, 12. Oh, my goodness. Good job by Michael to save that 99 car.
That's a death wobble there.
Yeah.
He got it back. And Michael hanging on in 20th place, one of the last cars on the lead lap, not having the kind of day he was hoping for. He's had great results here at California in the past.
NASN, home of live Major League Baseball in the UK with more than 250 games per season, original US broadcasts, plus live and extended coverage of the pennant races, the divisional series, and the league championships. NASN, the only channel dedicated to North American sports, including the NHL, live college sports, NASCAR, the NBA, and the NFL. If you love American sport, you won't want to miss out on this incredible lineup. To subscribe to NASN, call 08708 50 30 30 or visit our website at nasn.com.
Kenny Wallace is on pit road, hearing that Casey Kane and Jamie McMurray will be in this lap. Here comes Kane now, giving up 3rd position and heads down the pit lane for what should be his final stop of the race, Marty.
All Casey really wanted to know during that run, Alan, was how fast are the lead cars. He couldn't keep up with them. A little loose in, a little tied off. They're going to fix the tied off. 2 rounds up on the track bar, trying to loosen that car up off the corner for Casey Kane, having a solid top 5 run in the 38 car.
Yeah, a little bit long there.
Yeah, the front tire changer had a little bit of a problem on the 38 car, but 18 seconds, he's back out there.
Watching Biffle and Mears, top 2, to see when they come down pit road. They bypass the pit lane this time, although Jamie McMurray does come in from 3rd place. Marty?
Remember, we told you, Jamie said the car was tighter on this run than it had been all day long. He said, I really don't know what to do, though, to make it much more balanced. So what they're going to do is put a ½ pound in the right rear, very small chassis adjustment for the 6016, having a terrific top 5 run today. Rusty, I know you're a proud owner, and this looks like another good stop for the Duraflame.
Oh, man. Wow. 14-2. These guys are rocking today. Pit stops have been perfect for them all day long. I'm a proud owner, I can tell you that right now.
Cost you a little bonus money there at the end of the day.
I don't care. I'll pay it.
There you go. 2nd place, Casey Mears coming in as Mike McLaughlin's also in.
And they're already going to work on the left side. Chassis adjustment already complete. We told you that car, as he smokes him away again, the car extremely tight on that last run.
Here's Casey Mears coming in, Dave.
And Casey radioed into his crew that the front end has gone away really bad. But then as they talked about changes they would make, they really settled on not making any. That leads me to believe perhaps an air pressure adjustment on those tires to help a little bit. But again, the front of that car sliding, the nose, they're going to change 4 tires and send Casey back out.
Okay, so far you got the best stop, Rusty. All right, Greg Biffle's on pit road for hopefully his final stop. Matt?
99's in. They go to work on that car. Meanwhile, the leader, Greg Biffle, who's been dominating much of this race, comes in. They're going to pull a tear off the left side of that windshield and possibly the right side to give him a good view. No adjustments. He said, I don't know what else we could do to this race car to make it better.
Comparing Biffle's time to Casey Mears, about the same. About the same. Martin Truex Jr., championship leaders in. Matt?
Bono and the guys waiting for the 8 car to come to a stop. They have made slides to a stop. in his pit stall. They have made big gains on this race car much of today. The car, though, he says it's still loose off the corner. I still need grip. They're going to try to make some different adjustments on this car as a jackman finally comes around to the left side. A pump and a half, the car's up. A long stop for the 8 guys, and he's away.
Yeah, some lug nuts fell off the right front tire, Matt, when they were making that stop, and the changer was looking around on the ground trying to find a lug nut.
Oh, that's a tough one right there.
So cost the championship leader some time on pit road. See how much it cost him when the checkered flag waves in terms of finishing position. There's your new leader, Bobby Labonte. Labonte, Kyle Busch, Kevin Harvick, Tony Raines, Matt Kenseth, your top 5. All of those guys stopped under the caution at lap 76. These other guys that have just come on pit road did not stop under that yellow. They stopped at lap 61. So here's the question now if you're Labonte's crew chief. How long can you stay out there on these older tires and give up that speed to those guys on the fresh tires versus the track position that you've got on them now? Marty?
Kevin Harvick having a terrific run, says the car is just literally awesome. They're going to make no changes on the stop, and 4 tires is all it's going to be. He's had 2 top 5s in his 3 races here at California. Harvick very happy with the 21 car right now.
All right, Alan, to answer your question about Bobby Labonte, this is the car that he was racing with. So he's got to get into the pit area and get 4 tires pretty doggone quick. He's going to give it too much space on the racetrack to him. Dave?
Johnny Sauter is in, and guys, they're going to go to a chassis adjustment as well. You see the wrench going in the rear window there. Screws a jack bolt on the back of that car. They're going to change 4 tires, send Johnny back out. He's been hasn't been complaining too much about his car. Actually, he's been very quiet on the radio for the 27.
A little trouble there. And they will get Johnny Sauter back onto the racetrack. BP, I'm thinking a little different line there. Bobby Labonte has got older tires than Greg Biffle. He doesn't have Biffle a lap down. So how much time can he give up to Biffle while Biffle's on these fresher tires? You know, by the time he comes in and makes his stop.
But my point is he's not racing Greg Biffle. He can't race with Greg Biffle. He's racing with the 21 car.
Got a smoker. Kenny Hendrick in the 85 car.
And so far, no caution flag. He is down out of the way.
And it does not sound like we're going to get a caution either. So we'll stay under the green. So you got Bobby Labonte.
See, this is the guy that he needs to be racing with as a 21.
But not if he's going to win the race.
Well, he's not going to win the race.
What else he got to run for, right?
Well, I mean, he's going to try to win the race, but under the circumstances we've seen today,
I think Bobby is... I thought he was slowing down to come in there, but just the guys with the fresher tires going by him. So you got Labonte, Kyle Busch, Tony Raines, David Green, Matt Kenseth, Jason Leffler, Wally, and Stacy Compton, who have not yet pitted. Dave?
Well, you've got the strategy right on the 18, Alan. They are just waiting for that caution. Remember, they pitted when other guys decided to stay out. That was on a lap, I have a lap 79 restart down here, so he had pitted for 4 tires at that time, so he can go an extra 15 or so laps than the other guys.
Yeah, but if he doesn't get that caution, then he's going to be way behind.
he's going. That's right.
I just mentioned Wally's name before.
I heard that.
He's up to 7th, BP.
Wow.
Now, he hasn't made his final pit stop yet.
Man.
But he's on the lead lap and in this mix here.
Let's see. He should be coming through here pretty soon. Is that him?
There he is.
There he goes.
Mr. Clean.
Okay, that hood is full of Mr. Clean, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, this is Renzie's car he's driving. Yeah. 4 laps, he said, huh? Yeah, Wally be coming in 4 laps, looks like.
It's a car by the Renzi brothers, Ed and Sam, engine by Ilmore.
Oh, he's got good stuff there, yeah.
Creeping their way into NASCAR racing. Your brother Mike's running their stuff as well.
Penske engines, basically, yeah.
And having a decent day.
Yep. Having a great run, good smooth run. We need to get his radio working a little better.
Mm-hmm. So we can talk to him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Give him an attaboy.
And again, Waller running in 7th place, a couple laps away from his final pit stop, in position to have a top, perhaps 15 finish at the end of the day. I I know he desperately wants a top 5. I know he desperately wants that.
That's true.
He'd like nothing better than to see you wash his car. Because you know it killed him to wash yours last year.
I know it. But he might have to again.
Little wave. Thank you. I'm going to pit road. Or you go by me. One of those signals.
I guess that you go by on the inside. You heard the crew chief a couple laps ago tell him that in 4 laps he would pit, so got a couple more to go before he can stop, get a drink of cold water.
What's the fifth? Next time by. Next time by. 1 can of gas, 1 can only. It's coming in this time.
Yeah, 25 to go.
Yeah, 1 can.
The speed differential is unreal. I mean, here's these leaders running 43.50s and 43.80s, and the Biffle's out there 42.40, 42. Look at here, 43.02 running McMurray. These guys are flying on those new tires. That's
This
Biffle.
time, Wally, bring it this time. You're clear right there. Bring it this time.
Biffle just came by Wally like he was standing still.
Yeah.
Biffle on the fresh tires.
And that was for position. Puts Biffle up in the 7th spot. All right, here comes Wally. 1 can of fuel only, and I'm sure the same thing is going to happen for Kyle Busch as he comes down pit road.
Second place driver in the championship with his final pit stop of the race at 24 laps to go, Dave.
Trying to make up ground on Martin Truex. Coming in now, he radioed his crew, told him the car was getting skatey. That's his word, skatey. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment to try to help that, get more grip in that car so that he can make up time here now. 4 tire stop. Tire change is coming around the left side now. And change it as well, send him on his way. Matt?
Mr. Clean holding the signboard, a chassis adjustment for Wally. They put in 1 can of fuel, and he's away.
Man.
Good stuff.
Was a good stop, about 5 seconds worth, so that could pick him up some positions on the racetrack.
We didn't see any tires there, right?
No.
Just the fuel only.
And the 5 car put 2 cans of fuel in, which
Boy, guys, 23 laps around this racetrack's a long way on no tires, I'll tell you that.
David Green, nice comeback from being a lap down earlier, Marty.
And here's some interesting strategy, Alan. The car's been awesome for David. They made a chassis adjustment. No chassis changes this time. And yes, left side tires only for the 37 bucks. We'll see how that plays out.
Had some trouble getting that left front unbolted.
it didn't work out too well because it was too long for a 2-tire stop.
So David heads back out. Still watching Bobby Labonte, the race leader. Not yet made his final pit stop. Labonte, Tony Raines, Matt Kenseth, Jason Leffler, the top 4. Then Greg Biffle, who is ahead of Casey Mears by 3 and change seconds. Here's Kenseth for his last stop. Marty?
He's still not happy, Alan. He said, guys, when we get this car home, let's take it apart and figure out what's wrong with us. Rusty, check out these changes. 3 pounds in the left rear tire, 1 pound in the right front tire, 2 rounds of wedge. I would say the car's a little too loose for Matt, especially getting into the corners, and he's still not very happy.
Yeah, 3 pounds in the left rear. He's really concerned about the drive off. It's just way too loose up off the corner, evidently, to cause that. I believe I'd be pulling out the right rear. That'd probably help him a lot also.
So Kenseth heading back into the chase. And now Tony Raines and Jason Leffler will come in, leaving Bobby Labonte, the only driver yet to make his final pit stop, as Labonte holds on to the lead with 21 to go. Go ahead, Marty.
Tony Raines has had a tight race car for most of the evening or afternoon here, Alan, and trying to loosen it up, Tony, but they're having a very nice, solid top 20 run for the 74 bunch, changing the left side tires now, putting those on, they'll send them back out on the racetrack.
Jason Leffler, 3rd in the Busch Series Championship, fighting a tight race car now. He was loose early in the race. They're going to make a track bar adjustment. 4 tire stop for Jason. Trying to get him on off pit road here. 2nd can of fuel going in for Leffler as well. Waiting on the tires. Now drops the jack. It's his signal to go.
So only Bobby Labonte yet to make his final pit stop. There's no chance Bobby can hold on to the lead when he makes his stop because he only has about a 12-second lead on Greg Biffle. So he's going to lose the lead. The trick is going to be to come on and off pit road quickly and smoothly.
2 tires, Bobby. Leave when the jack drops.
All right, there's the information from the crew chief. We're going to change the right side tires and put a can of fuel in it. When the jack drops, leave.
And here he comes.
All right, boys, here he comes. Good solid stop. He's going to leave on the jack drop. We'll get plenty of gas in our 2-tire stop here, Bobby.
Jeff Chandler, the crew chief for the 18 car.
Greg Biffle's already gone by into the lead, and it's a long way down this pit road in California at 55 miles an hour. Dave?
Glad to see your radio works up there too, Alan. You heard all the strategy. 2-tire stop for him. Wait until the jack drops and the fuel is out of there to head down pit road. Bobby waiting, and he's already gone.
12 laps to go.
Green flag, green flag.
And this could be a mess.
Yeah.
Got Mike Wallace in the 4 car and the 74 car. Both these cars are lapped down, I guess, in the front row.
They're at tail end of the lead lap, BP. Hoping for that quick caution. They did not pit under this yellow. The leader's the 00. Pfeffer not for long. Outside of him, Martin Truex in the 8 to the front. And here comes Biffle on the inside in the 60. 8 car of Truex is the leader.
But here comes Casey Mears, the guy who runs so well these first few laps on the outside right behind Biffle.
Truex trying to hang on. Matt, what they do in their pit stop?
2 tires, just 2 slight air pressure adjustments. Bono Mangy yelled excitedly on the radio, "This is our break. We've waited for this all day. Here we go. Go get him, guys."
He's trying. Truex on the inside trying to work Mike Wallace. Mike is trying to stay on the tail end of the lead lap. He's in 16th place in the 4 car. Oh, is Biffle going to make it 3 wide?
He thought about it.
Still working. Inside, Biffle for the race lead, and Mears on the outside in the 41. Truex back to 3rd, 3 wide. And watch McMurray on the inside.
All right, here we go. The 60-41. They're side by side for the lead. Oh, just slides up the hill, does Biffle in front of Mears.
I don't think Biffle's going to be denied. McMurray in the 66, Harvick in the 21. That's for a spot. That's for 5th place. Marty.
Bottom of your screen, 21 and 66. That's 2 tires versus 4 on the last stop. Jamie McMurray in the yellow car took 2. Kevin Harvick in the orange car in the middle took 4.
McMurray trying to pin it right down on the white line. See if he can work Kevin Harvick for that spot. He's not able to.
That's a bunch of cars trying their best to find the caution flag.
I'm telling you what, they are. And it's a nervous looking bunch of hot rods out there.
Man.
If you could see Rusty's jaw up here, folks, that pack 3-4 wide with his car in the middle of it, that jaw got tight watching some of
I'm
this.
like, let's get this thing over with.
Casey Kane, 38, what a rim ride. He tries to move around McMurray to pick up 5th. Check that for 6th. Meantime, here comes Casey Mears, trying to stay with Biffle. Remember, these two swapping the lead back and forth a lot earlier.
We've seen this all day long for 10 or 15 laps. This 41 car is a match for the 60. Here he comes on the inside for the lead up 4. Oh, if Biffle didn't hit the wall, he came close.
New leader, 7 laps to go, Casey Mears. Earlier in the race, every time he got in front of Biffle, Biffle came back and rallied to catch up to him. Now Biffle's got to do it with the win on the line. And the tension continues in the pack. There's Wally right in the middle of all that. 87 Nemechek trying to pick up a couple of spots in the late laps. That is Shane Hall, who has spun at the entrance to pit road as Biffle. Caution flag is out. Caution is out, and that will...
Now then, as we go back to the loop preceding that, who was in front?
That's what I was starting to say. Greg Biffle has been declared the leader. We are coming to the green flag. Restart will be with 4 laps to go. No lap cars around the leaders. Inside the final 10, a single file restart. Lead lap cars up front. Casey Mears trying to hang with Biffle, and we've seen Biffle have trouble getting going earlier today. Let's see what happens now.
All right, green flag is in the air. They got a terrific jump, both Mears and Biffle, on Bobby Labonte, as Labonte's getting a challenge for the lead, and so is Biffle. Labonte's getting challenged for second, third spot. I'll get out in a minute.
Mears outside, Biffle inside as Harvick moves to third. And the new leader,
Man,
Casey Mears. These two cars, the class of the field so far today, looking like they're going to settle it between them. Harvick just maybe not enough laps to get up there and do something with them unless these two get bouncing off each other.
it's always a possibility.
Yes, it is. 3 laps to go. Here comes Biffle.
Now, Biffle's angle is much better in the corner than the 41 car of Mears.
Casey with that little wiggle we've seen him have a couple times in the turn today.
But you know what? He didn't back up one instant. He just turned to the right and kept in the gas.
And this is just what Harvick wanted to see. These two guys racing side by side. Maybe he can catch up.
Brad Barrett, the crew chief for Greg Biffle, watching it on the monitor. He's seeing what we're seeing, and he's nervous.
2 laps to go. Biffle would have won by inches that lap. Mears going to try a little wider arc this time, BP.
Biffle's going to come up the hill in front of him and have the lead, but we haven't gotten back to the start-finish line yet.
Lap and a half to go. All right, what's Mears got to do here, Rusty?
He's just got to work that outside, because they clean air to the nose so the front end will turn. That's what he got to do. He can't run behind Biffle. He's going to have to get out and get some air so that thing will drive up underneath or drive around outside of either one.
He's got one more lap to try and make another pass. White flag for Greg Biffle, final lap here at California Speedway. Harvick trying to close from third. Mears trying to fight back around Biffle.
Well, it looks like Biffle's 60 car made a terrific corner that time. Comes off turn 2 with a 2 or 3 car length lead.
Behind them, Bobby Labonte's been shuffled back from third.
I'm just shocked how well this 21 car is running here at the end of the race. As he's coming off turn 4 with a checkered flag.
Going to be a little late for Harvick. It's going to be a sweep in 2004 for the NASCAR Busch Series at California for Greg Biffle. Biffle wins the Target House 300 after a terrific late race duel with Casey Mears.
How about those last few laps with Casey Mears? He wasn't about to let you have it.
No, he certainly wasn't. I'll tell you what, they had us beat so bad on motor in this series. It's unbelievable. I've never been at a disadvantage like that in my life. He'd just drive by me on the straightaway, and this Robinson chassis and the Will Jones body, this car is awesome. Everywhere we've taken it this year, it's pretty good. And just excited for Charter. There's a big area for them, Charter high-speed internet, Charter cable, and they've been big supporters of our program. The guys did a great job in the pits today. Brad Parrott called a good race, and man, now I bet the fans got their money's worth on that one.
No, they really did. Now, if it wasn't a motor situation that you could beat him with, was your car just that much better in the corners? How'd you beat him?
Oh, yeah, the car was just awesome. I mean, he was really loose, and I thought he'd be better behind me, but, you know, I could loosen him up easy in the corner, and, you know, he had a hard time getting the gas down. But once I could break that draft a little bit, about 6 car lengths, you know, I could hold my own.
You started basically the same place you did here in the spring, Greg. How did you get the sweep here? I mean, why are you so good at this place?
Well, I don't know. I mean, these guys just built me really good cars back at the shop. It's really what matters, you know, and all Charter support, and everybody's done good on this race team this year, and just excited. Hopefully I can do what Dale Jr. did last week.
Is that the most fun you've had winning in a while?
That's the most fun I've had winning. I was trying to figure out what I was going to say if I finished second.
And let's check the results from today's Target House 300. Greg Biffle with his 5th win of 2004 and a sweep of the 2 races here at the California Speedway.
And Bobby Labonte, he was up in 3rd spot, fell back to 7th at the end of the race. What about a comeback for Kyle Busch up to 9th spot after that late pit stop?
Good effort there. Last on the lead lap, David Green, 15th place. Brother Kenny wound up with a lead lap run.
Yeah, good run.
And Mike Wallace, 18th. So the Wallace boys did okay today.
Yeah, if they can fly home, not hold their head down.
Absolutely. Jason Keller, kind of a struggle day for him, wound up 22nd place. See all the drivers who finished laps and more down. Ron Hornaday. The woes of late summer continue for the Blue Deuce in that series.
And Sterling Marlin ran so well, but will finish 37th after the engine expired.
God, he had a great run today. He had a wonderful run.
Yep. And first 3 drivers out of the race all out in the early going. And that's how they ran. Today here in California, championship standings, the lead from 78 to 95.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank